I am Vinnie Tortorich, folks. Your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed. Just like my friend, Miss Gina Grad. Yeah, she'll be coming in just a second, but she already knows that I'm a simple man. I got to tell you, Gina, I didn't know where that post was. And I stopped one round too early.
I heard. I know. Skinner will get you that way.
Yeah, Skinner, it's like, they had only 5 guitars on that stage. I don't know if you ever saw them live.
Never.
Yeah, it was quite the band. But man, I gotta tell you, today,
That really threw you.
Can I tell you how happy I am today?
I would love that.
And I don't know. I saw you post the other day and you got very upset. You were thinking about your dad.
Yeah, I was having a tough day.
Yeah. And you caught me on a tough day too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. One of my brothers, has been dealing with Crohn's disease since he was since he was a kid.
Oh boy.
I'm going to be honest with you. I thought that I had broken him. He was a young guy on the football team, a few years younger than me, and I wasn't going to show any mercy to a brother. I had to be who I was.
Right.
And they had me running a drill against him. I was beating the crap out of him. I mean, every spot when he was done, he was black and blue except for the soles of his feet. And that night he started crapping blood.
Oh my God.
But it was explained to me a week or two later that it wasn't my fault, that he had Crohn's disease. He found out when he was like 15 or 16 that he had Crohn's disease. And he's been dealing with it his whole life.
That's a tough one.
This is beyond irritable. He could tell you, he will tell you, he could tell you every bathroom between his house and where he works.
Let's put it this way. You can get a handicap placard for Crohn's disease.
Yeah.
I have a friend who has it because it's an emergency and it's very, very bad.
It's not good. He's dealt with, every experimental drug along the way, but all along the way, they said eventually you will get colon cancer. It's just going to happen. Right. So he goes in. Now he's got to get, we get checked, we get the camera up the butt.
Sure.
For me, they told me last time, it's like, look, you're still clear. They said, you don't even have to wait, don't go 5 years. You can wait 7, 8 years.
Whoa.
When a doctor tells you that at 60 years old, you're like, really? It's like, yeah, you're clear. Now, according to vegans, I have, like John Wayne, I somehow have 50 pounds of meat impacted in my bowels.
Right.
I'd like to know how that works, but I don't. And I have a clean bill of health. But my brother has to get this test every 24 months.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because they're just waiting for the cancer to come along.
Right.
Well, he goes in, as guys get older, we get enlarged prostates. And he goes in and they want to do some imaging to see what's going on with his prostate. And when you do that, you catch a little piece of their colon, and that doctor sees a shadow right in the colorectal area. So my brother's actually good friends with this Crohn's disease specialist.
Oh, good.
That's how, he and that doctor have become close friends over the years.
Yeah.
So he calls the doctor. He goes, look, when was my last thing? He goes, 14 months ago. There's no way cancer could have, come up that quickly. Well, they go in, they do all the tests, and not only does he have cancer that quickly, they diagnose it as stage 3 colorectal.
Oh my God.
Which means that it may or may not have gotten outside of the colon, and you can have cancer once those cells get outside of that, it could be all over your body, right?
Yeah.
He has been going through it, Gina.
Oh, I'm so
He
sorry.
has been going fucking through it. And I'm the only family member he's talking to about this. We have a very close family, but you can't have everybody calling you, bothering you every day.
No.
So I said, look, Frankie, you talk to me. I'll disseminate the
Yes.
information
Yes.
in a way everybody else can understand it. Let's do it. And that's what we've been doing. And everyone's been respecting that. And I got to tell you, it's been rough. The
Mm.
guy's been continuing to work. Some days he couldn't go into work because he just couldn't get his head off the pillow. Um, they didn't just shoot him with, they didn't just zap him. And I mean, when I say zap the crap, they started, they told him when they started zapping him, you know, we're killing your colon.
Oh,
You're going
God.
to be on a bag the rest of your life once the chemo is over with. Zapping, chemo, zapping, chemo, getting sicker and sicker. At first, Zofran is working, then Zofran is, and he had me to bounce stuff off of because I went through it.
Yep. You've been there.
And I was like, look, is your pee looking rusty yet? He goes, yeah, how do you know that? I was like, okay, that's cells in your body just dying and you're peeing them out.
Mm.
Just stuff that, and it's like, are you feeling like this yet? Are you doing that? How much metallic taste are you getting in your throat?
Yeah. I've heard about that. Yeah.
Just all of it. Just all of it. And man, it is, this was crazy. Insurance don't give a fuck how sick you feel.
Yep.
They do not give a good fuck how sick you feel. Okay. Sorry, I'm so with the profanity.
It's true.
I said, Frankie, do you have one of those things in town where drunk people go when they get too drunk and they can get an IV? He looks it up. He goes, yeah, there's one right down the street. They have these bars. You can go and get
Right.
it because you have too
Right.
much. I said, the reason you're as sick as you are is because you're dehydrated and all of the ultra salt and everything you're taking with you. He couldn't even swallow anymore. So he couldn't drink. He's not drinking water. He's barely eating. I'm saying, look, just open an ultra salt, put it in 4 sips of water. I need you to get salt and water in your body. And then I went, okay, go to this place. The wife drives him there. They pump him up. And his voice sounds better. 2 hours later, it sounds better because he's getting some hydration.
Right.
I said, Frankie, go back tomorrow. Goes back to sounds even better, right?
He's replenishing.
He's getting, you see, that's what people don't realize. It becomes a downward spiral with chemo because you're dehydrated. You got this drug in you. You're feeling like shit. Of course, they have a deal with these places where by law in Louisiana, you can't go more than 3 times per week.
Okay.
3 times a week. Then you got to wait. So I said, okay, now, Frankie, now that we know that, we need to start parsing out.
Right.
When you go, we need to use that as a weapon.
Yeah.
Right. In between. Well, he's halfway. They're going to do 3 more 2-week sessions of chemo. He's done with the zapping. The zapping's been done, but he's still on the chemicals.
Right.
But they finally went in and did imaging. They did all the imaging yesterday, and he's cancer free.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I can't tell you the weight that's been lifted off of my shoulder. Now all he has to do is suffer through 6 more weeks of this crap.
I have goosebumps. Oh my God.
Because it's a it's suffering.
Yeah.
Right. But at least we know that, it didn't go to stage 4 and he doesn't have to double down on the suffering because what they do when they find out you have stage 4, they give you more of the shit that you couldn't take anyway.
Oh my God.
Right. That's the way. I mean, cancer, as I've always said, cancer, your body's in a race to the chemical's going to either kill you or it's going to kill the cancer.
Right.
You're in a race.
Right.
You got to do everything in your power to win that race. And I saw your thing the other day and I'm looking at it and I felt for you like you wouldn't believe it. It was a pit in my stomach. Like I even wrote to you and I said, Gina, I hope you're okay.
Yeah.
Because I was going through it.
Oh, God.
Right. And then today I was outside cutting grass and phone rang and he's like, I'm clear. You know, so I haven't even talked to him about it yet. I just know that.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's
Whew.
crazy shit, man. It's just crazy shit.
And yeah, don't get me started on the insurance companies, or the hospital system, but that's why we need you. I mean, truly, because, we went through a pandemic, I had a dear friend I've known since I was a kid who said, my daughter and I were both in the hospital. This was before we had a vaccine. And she said, you know what? I'm sorry to say that I wouldn't have been hospitalized if I wasn't overweight, and neither would she. She wouldn't have been hospitalized.
Yeah.
And it was a wake up call.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I said you were still on the Adam Carolla show at the time. I called in on the first couple of weeks of the pandemic and I said, this is when we thought people would just be, in for like 2 weeks, right? They said, give us 2 weeks just to break whatever the cycle is.
Right.
I said on the show, people will gain on average 15 pounds in those 2 weeks. Oh, no, I know what I said. I said, people will gain 10 pounds in those 2 weeks. And I said, I'm going for 15 pounds of muscle mass.
I remember.
And I'm calling it the NSNG 15 or the pandemic 15, where I want everyone to not only not gain 10 pounds of fat, I want you to gain 15 pounds of muscle. And of course, you would go, come on, Vin, that's impossible. Guess what? It might be impossible, but if you're shooting for it,
yeah,
if you gain 5, 6, 7 pounds in muscle,
it's a win.
And you're not gaining fat, and people still talk to me today, Gina. I do the consults every single day. I'm doing consults every single day. And I'm still hearing, started drinking heavily during the pandemic. I was in NSNG and I was doing well for the first 6 or 8 months of the pandemic. And then it wore on me. My husband was working from home. My kids were home. Bop. That pandemic fucked up. Again, I can't stop with the F word today, but screwed up a lot of people.
Yeah. And we don't even need to get into what it does when school basically goes on hiatus for a year. So between that and people just being told, for at the time, whatever, shelter in place, stay home, don't go outside. I mean, unless you're an ex-con who knows how to do a prison workout, the odds are against you.
Well, look, we as a town here never stopped going outside.
Yeah.
Here where I'm living now, I would hear my friends in LA going, oh, we can't go to the beach. No. Just go walk up a trail. Just go walk up and down the mountain. Oh, you can't go. It's like, who's going to stop you? They can't have, it's like, oh no, they have people at the openings of the trails. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Vinnie, remember they pulled a guy off his paddleboard in the ocean and gave him a ticket.
Remember that. In the middle of the ocean. I mean, when I was out, I never wore a mask much at all because I was sane enough to know it wouldn't do anything. Because, they say follow the science, and the science said that this was such a tiny cell that the only mask that will work is an N95 mask, not a KN95 mask, an N95 worn properly, right? Number one, you couldn't get an N95 mask. And number two, who knows how to wear them properly except people in hospitals?
Right.
So no one had that mask. So why wear anything anyway? Right?
Well, and when you put fabric under a microscope, it sure looks like it has a lot of holes in it.
Listen, I would see people, these kids at the university, walking around outside with masks on, walking up and down the sidewalk. And in wintertime, you could see the respiration coming out. They would blow out, you would see it bellow out the side of the mask. And I'm like, do you not see where your respiration is going?
At least keep their face warm.
Come on, you're college kids. What are you doing here? What's going on? You're outside. You're effing outside. My favorite move was I was still working out. I was still using the gym over at UVA. They had a rule in the gym. You have to have a mask on at all times unless you were on the aerobic equipment.
Wait a second.
You mean where you're breathing harder than anywhere else?
Wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You're huffing and puffing if you're on aerobic equipment.
That's right. Right. So,
Huh.
and these things are lined up right next to each other.
Huh.
People are, these are the smartest people in the country, colleges. Everybody was on a machine right next to each other. Yet if you were right over, like 10 feet over in the weightlifting area, I would put the mask on and have it droop down. Actually, what I did was I would take my keys and punch 4 or 5 holes in the mask. It was just big giant holes. They didn't care about that.
No, it was the security theater.
Yeah, it was, you just had to have a mask on. Right.
Oh my God.
So that was,
That's like having a smoking section on a plane.
right.
I don't get it.
I grew up with that. It was from the wing back was smoking.
Yeah. Huh.
You're all in the same tube.
Metal tube be damned.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Where,
Well, I'm so thrilled and relieved to hear about your brother. I can't imagine how terrifying.
me too.
I don't know where he goes from here, but I can only imagine it's easier with the new diagnosis, with the new information. So they're still making him do more chemo.
Yeah. I guess as a precaution.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I don't look, I'm not an oncologist. I'm only play one. But yeah, that's the good news.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost time for me to do that. And I've been putting it off. And they said, please don't put that off and don't put off the mammograms. Because I haven't, if we're going there today, which it sounds like we are, haven't taken the new boobs for a mammogram yet.
Do they make machines that size?
Well, here's the thing. Since they're smaller, I think it'll hurt more. When they were bigger, I couldn't feel anything. But now I really don't want to do it. I was like, are you still in there? So I have to do that. And it's almost time for the camera. And I'm scared, but I'm telling you, after hearing what you just said, and I hate that, it had to be at the expense of your brother's health, but you might have just saved a lot of people, because now I'm going to be more vigilant about making an appointment, because I forget that it's a real scare. It's a real thing.
One of the greatest Americans of all time is the reason I wasn't scared. I just thought it was hogwash. It was like, I can wait. I'm healthy. I can wait. And I waited a long time. But then I started thinking about one of my heroes, Coach Vince Lombardi, who would have lived a long life had he just gone in. He got colorectal cancer and died. The guy didn't make it to 60. And I was
Are
like,
you serious?
yeah, he was like, I'm too busy.
I didn't know he died that young.
Yeah, he wasn't very old at all. Can you look up and see how old he was when he died? I don't think he was even 60. The guy, I still live by a lot of what he talked about.
1913 to 1970. So what, 57?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I guess all those guys looked older back then. I never knew that he was that young.
Yeah, he didn't make it very long. And so I said, you know what? My hero can save my life. If I have anything, I can find out right now.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you have anything, like polyps or anything, they just, while they're in there, they clip them out.
Right.
To go.
Right. Then it's, yeah. That's also and that's the thing. It's like, nobody wants to do this, but whenever there's something I really don't want to do or I'm really scared of, I try to go into the ghost of Christmas future and deliver terrible news to myself and go, if I only just did the thing that I was supposed to do. So thank you for this cautionary tale. Although, again, I'm sorry it came at the expense of someone you love so dearly in their health.
Yeah. Well, looks like he's going to make it. And I'm going to still be, right there at his side as much as I can, getting him as hydrated as I can, because he still has to go through 3 more rounds of this, 3 more 2-week rounds. And
but you really think I mean, you can tell that after going to like one of these IV places, it makes a difference.
Yeah, or he missed 2 days of work, and this is a guy that does not like to miss work.
Right.
And he went to that place and went to work the next day.
Unbelievable.
Hydration, people don't realize how much it matters.
Yep.
You see me, I walk around, I got my 40-ounce jug right here. You see how beat up this thing is.
Take it everywhere.
I had two of them, but Ozzy took my other one. I think Ozzy knew what he was doing. But I said, Ozzy, look, you're working here, I'm working here. So I'm going to put this, I found a piece of ribbon. I said, I'm going to put this ribbon around the top of yours. Yours from mine. So we're not lipping each other's bottle.
Right.
Right. And he goes, okay. And then when we were done on that last day, he walked out with the bottle, and I didn't have the heart to tell him, Ozzy, that's like a $40 bottle, man. I just let him
in his defense, it's not exactly Dawned and Swarovski crystals. It just looks like a water bottle. Yeah, but it's a nice one.
Yeah. I had two of them. Now I have one.
Not gold plated like my kettlebell.
And the only reason I had two is like when I go on long hikes.
Sure.
I want to bring 80 ounces with me versus, so I have this one, and a fan sent me another really nice one. So I have two again.
Oh, good.
And they put NSNG on it and everything.
Oh my God.
Do we have a short story or something, Gina, we can do before we go?
Yeah. We have a couple, and I'm gonna give you one presently. I have a question for you, and I think I'm hoping it's something answerable in a small bite. But real quick, I have to tell you, and I'm making a point of this because I know that they're all over the country. They're not just in California. The other day, my husband and I went on a little date. And since he's so hardcore NSNG and I'm following in suit, I said, where could we go and really feel like we're indulging, but not get off of our path? So guess where we went, which was, I thought, a brilliant choice by me. They're all over the country. And it was Fogo de Chão, the churrascaria, I call it Meat Disneyland. The buffet comes to you. It's just, sausage, chicken, steak, lamb shank, everything. And they cut you off a bite and you eat it until you're stuffed. And between that and like a little salad from the salad bar, we felt like it was a decadent meal, but we didn't, ruin our blood sugar. So we were really happy about that. And I personally recommend doing something like that if you're feeling indulgent and want to spend a little extra for a meal. I'm sure you've been.
I have. Great place. Is that the one where they give you a card? You turn the card over?
Yes. If it's red, do not come to my table. If it's green, please give me more meat.
Yeah. I've never put the red one up. And I tell everybody, because there was another one in Louisiana. It's called Texas de Brazil. And my niece turned me on to that one. And she was going over to the salad bar and saying, whoa, what are you doing? She goes, I said, nah.
Rookie mistake.
That's a rookie move right there. Get away from that salad bar. They want you to go over there. That's why it looked. She goes, oh, they have Uncle Vinnie, they have everything. I went,
yeah, of course they fill up on the cornbread.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. You just stay here, baby girl. Daddy's going to show you what to do.
Well, that's what we did. I think I got a little stack of the caprese, mozzarella, tomato, basil. He got some Caesar salad with no croutons, and we said, okay, pull that green disc, we're ready. And it was perfect. We just had so much fun.
I love that I saw where you're making meat now and you're eating meat. You've just turned the corner.
Vinnie, I am obsessed with eating steak. I can't stop. I haven't eaten it. It took me 1990, almost 20 years. And I now have it's like a shark that has the taste for blood. I can't stop. I cannot stop. Now, speaking of blood, I'm not a rare or medium rare person just yet.
Oh, I was going to take a minute.
And even at the churrascaria, they're giving it to you dripping with blood. And I ate it. I was like, I don't think I'm here yet. But I'm loving it. I'm coming up with, I'm looking up online, rosemary garlic butter sauce, and you baste it beautifully before it hits the right temperature. And I'm having a blast.
Let's see if I can find this book.
Ooh.
There's a book on meat, and it's called Meat, and it's written by this British guy. Um,
What do they know? They don't have, it's probably all pheasant.
no, I mean, you can learn a lot. Is it Joseph DeLacy? Is this it?
You want me to Google him?
The Ultimate Guide? That might be it.
I haven't heard of such a book.
Let's see if I can get Serena on the phone here, because you need to know about this book.
Yeah. And people always go, oh, you don't eat meat. I was like, it's not that I don't eat meat. I don't eat beef specifically. Why? I don't know. I don't have a good reason for you. Oh, he's on the phone. So I'll filibuster. Yeah. I grew up in Kansas. I think I had my time with beef and I just didn't want it anymore. It didn't look like food to me. And even if I was starving and there was hamburgers, I'd say, I guess I'll just have a bun. It just didn't taste like food to me. I can't explain it. And then I've been dipping my toe and only, going to high-end places, or if there's a high-end, restaurant and they're serving a filet, I'll try it. And I'm going, oh my God. But now I'm into ribeyes. That's my jam.
Oh, I see it here.
Oh, he's finding the book. Yeah, way better than filet. I'm a ribeye girl now. And I'm into it. So let's see this book. He's getting off the phone with his beloved and betrothed.
It's Hugh Fernley Whittingstall.
Of course it is.
And I'm
That's
telling
quite
you,
a name.
that book, it's all about meat and the correct way to let it rest.
Oh, we got to do that.
And, how to cut it against the grain. And if you don't know much about meat, that book will teach you everything you need to know.
Here it is.
Serena
it's called Meat.
Yeah. Serena makes restaurant quality steaks of all types. Now, Gina, people always go, oh, you have to have a lot of money to eat. No, we buy a lot of meat on sale. Let me give you a pro move.
Please.
So most people would look at a porterhouse and go, oh, that's too rich for my blood. Because the porterhouse in and of itself might be 2+ pounds with bone in it, right? And you'll go, I can't afford that. But if you get it on sale day, you need to go to 3 or 4 different markets to figure out who has their sales on which day.
Yeah.
We have, I want to say somewhere between 4 and 6, and we know where the sales are.
Nice.
For ground beef, who's got the best strip, who's got the best ribeye, when they're going to be on sale. We're both over 60, so sometimes there's senior deals.
Oh, yeah. Take advantage of that.
But here's a pro move. You get a porterhouse. What people don't realize is on that porterhouse, 1/2 of it is a filet. And the other side is it a ribeye or a strip? But it's like 2 pounds of it, right? Like if you get a big giant, when you and your husband and your kid can eat off of that. And if you had a dog, now you got that bone at the end. God. So that's the way you do it.
Yeah, it's a filet and a strip.
Yeah, filet and a strip. And so you get, you get east versus west, you get a little bit of both. Oh my God, and by the way, sometimes you'll get that for really inexpensive. And you could and if you have that book, you could go restaurant quality.
I'm just learning. I'm so excited. The first couple times I was so scared. I made my husband do it. And I was like, I'm going to try it. The only thing I'm worried about for him anyway is to not overcook it because I'm new at this. But I can't get enough. I can't get enough steak.
What you will learn from Whittingstall's book is that the meat keeps cooking after you take it off.
Right. Yes.
While it's resting, the fibers, they relax.
Right.
We could take, sometimes we'll get, especially if you have wild game,
Mm,
deer, whatever. You got to really know what to do with that stuff, because if you cook it down too much, it'll get really tough and tight.
right.
Right? You want it to be nice and tender. So I'm so glad that you're diving in. And here's a cheat sheet.
Please.
If all else fails, all you need is salt and Anna Vocino's barbecue dust.
Anna, the goddess Vocino, just sent me my own package of seasonings.
Yeah.
I have them all. I am so excited. I have the dill, I have the taco seasoning, and I have the barbecue dust. And I told her this is going to make my year with my newfound love of beef.
You grew up in the Midwest.
Yep.
Go do yourself a favor. Go get the Trader Joe's creme fraiche, because that's where it's the cheapest.
Mm-hmm.
Take that creme fraiche and that dill powder and work it with the salt.
Oh,
You will have a ranch like you've never tasted ranch in your life.
that sounds delicious.
You will get on a plane, go to your mom's house, and smack her as hard as you can.
Oh no.
How did you ever give us Hidden Valley?
Hidden Valley fat free that looks like in the consistency glue, just like glue.
Oh, listen, but on the steak, people go, oh wait, your steak is going to taste like barbecue. No, it doesn't. I like when Serena's out of town and I have to fend for myself. I do the Anna. I put a lot of it on. I add a lot of extra salt, both sides. And oh geez, I do the whole thing.
Well, I know Serena even puts them in the meatballs.
She does. We use that stuff for everything. And then I put the butter, and somehow it gives it this quality that you will never taste anywhere else.
I'm so excited. When that showed up at my door, I lost it.
Yeah.
I can't wait. And we do a lot of taco bowls in this house, a lot. And frankly, I got to tell you, I'm sick of making that shit from scratch every time we do it, because I'm like, I stay away from the El Paso and the prepackaged stuff. I don't want to do this every single time. So now I don't have to.
Nope. And by the way, that taco seasoning, when you start getting towards the end of that, you're going to get depressed. You're going to, oh my God, I'm jonesing. I better make sure I have, because I do the taco meat. That's something else. When Serena's not here, it's taco bowls every night.
Yeah, we're big on that.
I could do 10, 12 ounces of red meat and do the taco and take an avocado and make myself the guacamole, put on top. There are things I know how to do really well, like guacamole, taco, boom, boom. And, I'll take the creme fraiche and I'll take my salt, and I'll put a little bit of dill stuff in there, just a little bit. You don't want to overpower it. And then I'll take the jalapenos and chop them really fine in there and mix it all together. Extra salt, throw that on top.
Forget about it.
Bobby flay my ass, man. I'll teach you how to make something.
I can't wait.
That's right. That's right. Whenever you and I are having our tryst, when we get hungry after we're done.
Obviously, we'll need food. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we get hungry, it's
Burn a lot of calories.
All that making love and stuff.
That's right. That's right.
It takes it out of you, Gina.
Yeah, it really does. I am gassed after that.
Yeah, because at my age, I can still pull a couple of good rounds. Yeah, I don't care what they say. That's right, folks. You can find Gina Grad every week over at the Brian and Gina Show.
Yeah,
twice a week.
Yeah, when it drops Wednesdays and Saturdays.
I also noticed that Gina's been putting stuff up on grain-free comfort food lately, a couple of meat dishes. That's how I knew about this conversation.
That's right. I've sort of just, like I said on there, I kind of just lost my love for a while of cooking. I was tired. I didn't feel like it. I just didn't have a lot to say. And now with my ignited love of beef, I'm loving posting. So thank you for bearing with me. Grain-free comfort food on Instagram, the show Brian and Gina Show, anywhere you listen to podcasts, and my book My Extra Mom, about having a step parent. And there'll be My Extra Dad coming this fall, and you can get that on Amazon or Barnes and Noble.
And before you go to Amazon, go to Vinnie.com, click through the banner, puts a little coal on the fire, gets my train down the track, and I'm able to keep this show free. A lot of people have been asking me on the Instagram, how do I learn about this NSNG thing? Well, you just go get the NSNG PDF It's the NSNG ebook at VinnieTortorich.com. It's all there for you, right? All for the taking. So go take it. See, do we have some music on the way out? Yeah, why not? How about a little music on the way out?
Let's do it.
On behalf of Gina Grad, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living and do it with my favorite chick.